Absolute Batman #1. This is the big one that we've been waiting for. We're going to talk about this using my space system. Every category in the system gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any of those categories. Absolute Batman #1. This is, of course, a new universe. All in. DC all in. Scott Snyder's behind this. He wrote this one. This is an alternate universe. So we have to put aside our Batman that we know. I'm reviewing this in that mindset. I'm not thinking about this as the real Bruce Wayne, though the core qualities of Bruce are still there. There won't be any spoilers in this review, but Batman does not kill. That has been maintained and it has been firmly established. They literally say it. So we're going to get to the artistry, which I know a lot of people were talking about this thing right here, which we're going to get to. For the storyline of this, I have to give it a 2 out of 2. I was pumped reading this. Now, I wasn't dying over this concept in general. I mean, they make these new universes and you're like, okay, it's another universe. And it almost feels like a lazy get out of jail free card. Like I can do whatever I want and it doesn't matter. It's almost like I don't have to read Batman. I don't have to know the lore of Batman. I just have to know just Batman, the character, and some of his supporting cast. And then I just make my own story. I mean, that is true. That is true. However, I can only review what I hold in my hand. I cannot review someone's motives. Scott Snyder is not some schmuck who just walked in off the street and says, I want to do Batman. He's a known entity. We know he's good. So I'm going to take it that he really wanted to tell this story and not just I'm lazy and I just want to do a Batman thing but not pay attention to the lore. That is not the case. It could have been the case, but it's not. But even if it was, it doesn't matter. I'm only talking about this comic in my hand and the story was awesome. It's mostly Alfred narrating it, writing his little notes and stuff. And he's talking about how he's back from an assignment. So he's like an agent here. Gotham is a very dark, terrible city with terrible violence. Think of those vigilante films like The Exterminator, or even like Punisher, but darker than that. It's more, yeah, I would say Exterminator is the closest thing where there's just vile people, especially Exterminator 2, which was a bit more comical, but you had that gang. And the gang in this, the party animals, are despicable pieces of garbage. They actually deserve to die, though Batman does not kill them. They're led by, I guess it's Black Mask, who's the leader. They all have these like ape skull masks. So that's all I'm going to tell you for the story. I'm not going to ruin it. There's other characters that appear, and I'll get to the character section, so I'm not going to ruin anything else on that. For the pacing, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2 for the pacing. To me, it's actually very fast-paced. There wasn't a lot of Batman action, but the action that we got was very intense and very cool. This wasn't just, we're going to have Batman do a bunch of random stuff. He had very focused purpose in this issue, and I really liked it. I like seeing things through Alfred's eyes. I thought that was interesting, and it's not the Alfred we know. It's not the origin of Batman that we know. Again, it's Elseworlds. I don't know if they still use that term, whatever. So keep that in mind, and I'm not spoiling anything for you guys. For the art, I'll give it a 1. I like the art. I'm not super dying and loving it, but I do like it. And we're going to talk about the symbol in a second. And it's no spoiler to know that we know that this symbol actually connects to a handle and becomes an axe weapon. And he can use we've seen this is not a spoiler, he can use the ears as projectiles and stuff too, right? So, as like shuriken. That's not a spoiler. The art, though, is good. I like the art, it's fine. There you go. The characters, gosh, I might have to give this a 2 out of 2 for the characters. this Batman is still a good person. Bruce is still a good person, but he's in the most violent version of Gotham that I have seen. Maybe there's been more violent Gothams in other Batman comics. I haven't read every Batman comic, but this is a very violent Gotham. And you would think that Batman would become more violent, and he is more violent. He's not afraid to shed blood, but he never does it in a way that the person will die. So remember in Terminator 2, where John Connor asks the Terminator not to kill? He's like, I swear I will not kill anyone, right? And then he shoots people in the knee, or he shoots them in the arm or something. He's like, he'll live, you know? That's the kind of Batman that we're getting in this. And here's a nice actual page. Maybe I'll make that my iPhone wallpaper. That's a really nice page. Yeah, so the characters of True Alfred is very interesting. It's not the Alfred that we know, but I'm intrigued to see where this Alfred is going. Gordon, Bullock, Falcone, Maroni, who else is in there? All these characters, Barbara, all of these characters are in here, but they're all different. And there is an epilogue for an introduction of another character, which I'm not going to spoil as well. You could probably guess who it's going to be. This is an interesting shot there with like the spikes and stuff. But I feel that Batman has remained true to himself. And I think for the enjoyment factor, I have to give this a 2 out of 2. I really like this a lot. I'm a bit surprised. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and I have to put an asterisk on that to say, again, this is absolute Batman. This is Elseworlds. Well, not really Elseworlds. It's another universe. Sorry, it's another universe. So it's not the same Batman that you know. It's different. The cape is actually wielded as a weapon. It's bulletproof. That was already revealed, so that's not a spoiler. So just keep all of that in mind when you read this, and I think you are gonna enjoy this. I think this book's gonna be hot. I did buy 2 copies. I've got one that I've reading, and I kept one in the nice thing, and I bagged and boarded it. So I think this is going to be a very hot book. I think it's going to do great numbers. We'll see what happens with Wonder Woman and Superman, which I will get those and review them. That's it, everybody. Let me know your comments, what your thoughts are on this one. This one might divide some fans. And I thought I was going to lean on the negative side, but I'm actually leaning towards the super positive side, and I'm really looking forward to what happens in issue 2. So I'm hoping that this maintains its quality, because it was damn good, and if it sells well, it's going to deserve to sell well. It'll definitely be second printing, if not already. My shop got oodles of them, so make sure you head out today and make sure you get them immediately. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching. Until next time.